Trade 4711, the deuce and the nine. Hoover Hay, coach enthusiasts, people, and the collective. Man, I got an exclusive today, man. I have some originals with me, man. Ready to chop it up about this under the groove process, this origin thing we laying out there, man. Again, 3Gs, man. I want to start it out, man, with the one to my left. You know, sit it around, man, and let's talk about what it is we need to talk about.
Yeah, Tony C.
All right.
Tony Station, known as TS.
All right, man. Look, I've been trying to get this done, man, with y'all, man, for a couple of weeks now. Everybody know how this shit go, man. You know, we actually did some shit, but you know, I don't know, some little editorial shit, decisions and shit. You know, we had some fire, man. We got some real fire. This is gonna be even better, man. I got these brothers here. We want to talk about the origins, man, our contributions, you know, to this Hoover shit, you know, actually. What that relationship was like amongst these G's, you know what I'm saying, coming up, man, back in the day. First and foremost, man, where and how did this phenomenon begin, man? What took place, man? How did this shit start, man?
Man, I think, well, we was probably about 11, 12, running with Tony Sims, and hanging out with Tuck, going to the record hops and to Sportsman's Park, which is Jesse Owens Park now, D. John's, and you know, so basically we was running, you know, behind, you know, with West Sides, and we came to the conclusion we was gonna do our own thing. I was probably about 12 years old. I believe we was on Miss Collins' porch, Papa Boom and JC's porch when it was birthed, you know, 7459 at the time. Hoover Joe came up with it. Tony Sims was there. 8 or 9 of us on that porch that night. Me, Papa, JC, Loft, quite a few people. But as far as that's when the Hoovers was birthed. It was 7459 when it started. We had Buzzard on 75th, I believe, 79th, Ajax, Chuckaluck, Teddy and Wayne. Those cats, you know, played an instrumental role in this thing that we still call Hoover to this day.
Well, let me hit you with this. You said that kicked off on JC's and them porch. I know that before y'all started this, what else was jumping? What other sets were there? Did other sets exist in that area?
Yeah, it was West Side Crips, East Side Crips. That's pretty much
Bonzilla Boys,
yeah.
Figueroa Boys was around.
Boys, yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
So I mean, so what precipitated? I mean, well, what brought it to a head to where you guys felt like, you know, let us do our own groove.
Well, don't leave them LA Brims. They was
Yeah,
one.
The
They
Brims
was,
were contenders.
they was one of the biggest.
All right.
Just say the LA Brims. They was one of the biggest sets it was in LA at one point in time.
That's the beauty about this get down, man. We gonna speak truth to power, man.
Then you got the
no
Swans.
matter what it was.
You got the. It's a lot of them. It's a Swan. It's a lot of them was out.
Contenders.
Oh yeah.
So this is part of what said, okay, we need to bring our own, create our own shit.
True,
we got some real solid cats up against, son.
Yeah, well, we finally well Joe mainly they talked about it. We all talked about it. It's like it was in our minds anyway. To really just stop running behind somebody else and do our own thing.
Well,
wasn't really running behind them, we was hanging with them.
Okay.
You know
okay. How old were you guys, man?
I was about 12.
So this was young, cool dudes.
Absolutely.
Well, the oldest could have been what? 14?
14, 15 tops. Yeah, 15 tops. Yeah,
and so before this Hoover thing was kicking out, what was y'all doing? What was y'all hanging at?
Before then, we was just doing what we do what we do. We'll go out and tell our mamas we got this frame from somebody for this bike when we didn't took the bike. Hop gates and steal people's fruit all the way from Florence to Manchester to go swimming. Yeah, we wasn't normal kids, you know. We wanted our own money. We go sell candy. Believe it or not, in the 6th grade, we was probably wearing shadow striped slacks and biscuits and leather coats to school. By the 7th grade, we was at the tailor shop. Yeah, going to get our clothes made. But we was still from where we was from. But we was some neat Crips.
Okay, got you.
Let me
jump on in there.
Let me say this. Way before I even met Tony Serrano, HOLA Ray, I didn't even know him yet.
Okay.
Before Hoover even came out, was even in existence. You posed the question just a minute ago. what was going on at that time, what we was
Mhm.
doing.
Mhm.
At that time, you know, way before Hoover came out, before I met Hola Ray and Joe and all them, I was right there on 81st and Broadway. I was 81st Street Broadway boy.
Okay.
I was one
Thrown,
81st Street boy
stones throw away.
that
Yeah.
they call 8 Ace. 81st Street Broadway boy, you know.
I've heard of Ace.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna get into that, but that's where that come from, that terminology 8 Ace. When you talk about 7459 8 Ace through straight, 8 Ace, they talking about the same 81st Street, which all of them end up turning the groove. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I was 81st Street boy way before Crippin even came out. We was fighting with the Shack boys on the east side around
Mhm.
Fremont and all
Yeah.
that, playing football games and all that. But yeah,
And,
that's
and
how
this
it
is
was.
before Hoover.
Way before that. Yes.
Way before Hoover.
Okay.
So that started, man, and you know, just hearing y'all talk about this shit is like, okay, damn, this is early. This is
Kids,
early.
man.
Yeah, we was kids. We was kids.
Kids, man.
Trying to find our way in life, man.
Exactly.
And
You know, we raise birds and stuff. We're
Right.
doing that type, hitting cages,
Right,
you know,
right.
Right.
and stuff like that. Then, like, we was on 77th Street between Hoover and Vermont, and we had our own little thing going.
so wait a minute, hold up. So you're saying something different, not necessarily different, but different. You said at Ace,
Right.
East Side. Where were you?
We was on
before you
77th
do.
Street. We was 77th Street, Hoover Block Crips.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's what, because we was on that block. Yeah, Ajax and all of us. Yeah. Then we became folks. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
So at that time, Hoover, it wasn't 77 block Hoovers. What is that? What it was?
77 block. Hoover.
Oh, okay. So Hoover was in at the time. Y'all
Well,
just like,
we just went
Yeah.
out there like that.
okay,
But
okay, got you,
Right.
got you.
that's what we claim. Then the foes started coming down there. Leo specifically.
Okay.
Man, y'all turn 7-4. Y'all turn 7-4. But we had, you know, all the tools.
Y'all had
We a lot of
tools.
tools.
A lot of carpenters, no tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part.
Okay.
That goes back to the spot we used to hang out. It was called the Shack.
Yeah, sure.
It was a frame building that was never finished. It was just framed. And it would go from 74th to the alley of 73rd.
Mhm.
And when you would go by, if you in the right spot, you couldn't see us. You know, if the police
Mm.
went by, they couldn't see us. It was a gang unit at the time called Team 29,
Yeah, heard of it.
led by a guy named Boswell. He was a
Oh,
police officer,
man.
about 6'4".
No.
He was
White.
something else. Yeah.
Mm.
And he would try to give us the blues every time he got a chance to do it.
Racist white boy.
Yeah.
Let's speak of Team 29.
Yeah.
Why they
Team
created
29. Yeah, well, they created it because of us.
That's what I would have
Well, y'all talking about
Yeah.
y'all mentioning something. I'm pretty sure a lot of people never heard about.
What they know today is Crash.
Was Team 29.
That was the first gang unit.
Gang.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Crash is an offshoot
from
of
Team
Team
29.
29.
Right,
They only
yeah.
exist because Team 29
Exactly.
exists.
Exactly.
Yes.
Team 29 existed because
Of us.
We call too much action.
We was causing
of Hoovers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we call too much action.
Yeah, that first gang unit, Team 29, was straight started with the Hoover turf. They
Right,
created
exactly.
that for us.
They put them
Yeah,
for
Team
us.
20. That's the first gang unit in LA counties. Team 29. They was a beast too.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
And you know what?
Mm.
You seen the movie? What was that? Minister Society, and they whooped on the boys. What was that? Boys in the Hood, and they whooped on them and dropped them off
Yeah.
in another hood.
But yeah,
Oh, they used
yeah.
to really do that.
Oh, yeah.
They,
Oh, yeah.
They don't,
Yeah.
They don't whoop
Yeah.
on us and drop
It's
us
happened.
off right in front of Elvis' house. Swans.
Swans,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
get on the
yeah,
loudspeakers.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that's Hoovers right
Yeah,
here.
for
real.
They used to do us
for
back.
real.
And the thing about, during the Team 29 era, that first gang unit in LA, man, they used to terrorize us, but we terrorized their ass back though. But
Yeah.
we gave them the blues. But what's ironic during that era, that they drove in undercover cars,
Mhm.
the ugly ass dark blue cars or dark brown cars. We call them narcos.
The cars that
Yeah.
Crash use
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
yeah.
we call them narcos. But you
Right.
had to be street smart to know who they is.
Right.
They straight police. We call them narco. The most colored cars they drove in was the dark brown or dark blue. You think they just a regular civilians out there.
Mhm.
What's ironic now, when you compare that with what's going on now, you got police driving around in Escalade, Camaros,
Oh,
and
most
everything. They drive what
Right.
we
Most
drive now.
Right.
But back then, they drove them undercover cars. And we what we call? Oh, we call
Nixon.
low rollers.
We used to call him Nixon too. At the time.
Nixon, yeah,
Yeah,
the
he-
Nixon
Nixon.
boys,
Yeah,
the
that's
Nixon.
what-
Why?
Because he was the
President.
president.
Oh,
at the
Nixon
time.
was the cold
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah, we
he
call
was
them the
police.
Nixon boys, or we call them. He come the low rollers.
Yeah.
The low rollers. The Norcos, like down Vermont, where the islands at. The
Yeah.
islands at. Them
Yeah.
motherfuckers. When them fools used to just drive all across the island to get at us,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we say he come the low rollers or the Nixon boys.
They had a black and white unit too, and on the back doors they had Team 29 on the back
Yeah.
doors.
Real talk.
Yeah, but yeah, they would give us the blues on every chance they had, every chance they got.
So when they had to be there for a reason, man. What was going on, man? What made them feel? What made the city feel like they needed to employ a special police force just for y'all? What was going?
One thing, I'm trying to be discreet because you know about
Yeah,
my
be
book
that.
coming
Yeah,
out, but
yeah.
I want to get the people, a little bit of science, man. But Team 29 was basically developed because we caused so much havoc throughout LA County, man. We was into all kind of shit. We was just growing up, doing what we want to do. Didn't obey no laws. We felt that we made the laws, so
Pretty
They-
much a ride anywhere too, wherever
Wherever you,
wherever it
not
took
just
us
on
to.
Hoover Street.
Yeah, wherever it took us to.
yeah.
Because I've heard the comments say, "Well, the Hoovers, that's just on Hoover Street.
No.
They didn't go beyond
No.
Hoover Street.
No,
Oh, the
It-
Hoovers, they didn't leave Hoover.
no.
it-
You know,
it-
they wasn't on the west side or
No.
on the east side.
We was everywhere.
We had to say it back then, who was strong, no control.
Right,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, for somebody
Yeah.
to make that type of statement in the comments about like we didn't go outside of Hoover, actually 60s about me.
Mm.
Every Saturday, I'm at Signella Port,
Mm.
grouping up with the 60s, fighting the damn Inglewood Family Bloods over that port.
Mm.
Shit, we was everywhere. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
They
Well, keep it composed.
Yeah.
Look, one thing about Hoover, and I heard this, man, and I heard it from Joe, and I've heard it from others, man. Hoover is this mixture, man, this menagerie, man, of some of everybody, man. Is that true?
Oh
Pretty
yes,
much, pretty
Oh,
much, yeah.
yes. Oh,
Pretty
yes.
So it took all kinds to make Hoover this phenomenon. I
Absolutely.
call it a phenomenon. Joe say a juggernaut, and I'm pretty sure y'all have y'all adjectives in terms of what y'all want to call Hoover.
Good dudes from a whole lot of different areas came to the city
Okay,
because we was pushing like that.
okay,
We want to be part of that.
Yeah,
Them
yeah.
doing
Right,
that.
right.
yeah.
For real.
Yeah,
And it wasn't just right quick, TS. It wasn't just the that get down, but it also the camaraderie. Was that
Yeah.
Most definitely.
like to come kick it around Hoover's? It
Most
was the
definitely,
type of
most
dudes you can hang out.
Yeah.
It was good.
See,
Most
when you talk about the camaraderie comes from we support another Crip sets.
Okay.
It was our Crip brothers. I
Okay.
don't give a fuck what
There you
Crip
go.
set you was from. I don't give a fuck all the way from Compton to Wash to Inglewood, wherever you was on this planet. You claiming Crip, nigga, we was your Crip brother.
Right.
Them niggas know we was there like that.
Yeah.
We was there for them,
Yeah.
Prime example, though,
back to back.
Yeah.
when Salty got killed.
Oh, man,
in Compton.
man, with Salty, that's a loved one.
Yeah.
that-
I know that name.
that's a big
Never
loss.
met the brother. Yeah.
yeah, that's a big loss. Original.
Is
brother.
that worth talking about? Is that safe to talk
Yeah,
about?
it's good. It's
What
good.
happened?
It's, well,
I mean,
I mean,
You know
but
what I
just
mean.
say
You know what I mean.
he got killed by some Pyrus.
Okay.
Compton, Crips, and Pyrus is arch enemies.
Right.
So Salty got killed by some Pyrus, and but when that happened, got to realize this is during the time of the Long Table Peachtree going. The
Hmm.
truce is going throughout LA County.
Right.
Rosa Greer just played for the round.
Right.
He started that truce with gang members called a Long Table on 46 and Broadway. So we had a truce in place, and gang members was getting paid $50 a week just to show up,
Mm.
Crips and Bloods. But the Bloods broke the truce when they killed Salty in Compton. And man, when that happened, man, I talk about a lot of that in my book, though, but I ain't gonna talk about it right now. When that happened, so many Crips from all over stepped up for Salty, didn't even know him, never saw him in his life.
Mm.
They put in work behind that.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a big loss.
He was a
right
good
there.
dude.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
reputable out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Long Table, and I've heard so much about the Long Table. But when I hear about the long table, as far as Hoover go, I hear the name Bulldog a lot.
But let me say something about the long table.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish asking what you want to ask. What's one thing about a lot of people to this day who heard about the long table or who was a part of, forgot it, they think it was called a round table. I correct people in my book about that. It wasn't called a round table, like a table like this. It was called a long table because once you step in there, it's number tables lined up. Different tables. That's why it was called they long tables. It wasn't no round. It wasn't a round table. But go on and finish what you want to say.
So Bulldog was one of our representatives. Was he the only one?
No.
At the long table?
No. I was in YA when the long table started around in the 75. I got a pass of YA in 76. And wasn't nobody representing the 7-4 who was there. 7-4s didn't want to be a part of it. So when I came out, I had, loved ones from the trade and different Hoover blocks said, man, TS, come aboard and rep this shit. But I got aboard, but you had One Eye Clinic, you had Bulldog, you had let me think of them, man. They was on deck, man. But Bulldog wasn't the only one. He was a manufacturer. But at that time, the Hoovers controlled the money, though.
So I heard that when they passed out the money, they gave it to
the Hoovers.
Yeah.
And the Hoovers passed all the money out to all other Crips and Bloods. Yeah, they had Bulldog.
And everybody was okay with that.
Yeah, Bulldog, as long as they got their money. But Bulldog and them control that money. Oh, yeah. Every week when that armored truck pull up in front door, they get the money and they the one pass out all the money to all the gang members, Crips and Bloods.
Okay. See, this is some historical shit. I heard round table.
No, I didn't want the
just clarification here is called the long table. Right. Cool. The homies, I didn't know the homies went to work or felt the way they did about Salty. You know what I mean? I didn't, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is a description in terms of how we got down. Our love for other Crips, like you call our brothers. That's a good representation, man. How we got down, man. For those that always want to say, "Oh, the Hoovers this or the Hoovers that." I think that's some solid shit, man. Just to be able to say, hey, man, we was there front line,
And another thing, like Hola was saying, a lot of people back then they loved and respected the Hoover. The only reason they done that because we gave them support.
Okay,
we wasn't like closed off. We were scared to go outside of Hoover neighborhood. We was all over LA. All over the place, supporting other Crips sets, fighting wars with them.
All over LA County.
All over LA.
That's why so many Crips gravitated towards us. And that's why so many of us still love us, respect us to this day. They know what we've done with them. We was back to back with each other.
Yeah. There's a saying that goes, and I hear it more and more these days, especially, with my age group. You guys are older than me, but those who know.
Yeah. Right.
Those that know.
Yeah.
So it's not like we trying to defend or explain, they know.
Right.
So when Hoover became official, who else was on the planet doing their thing? Wait a minute. Was Hoover Groovers a part of Hoover?
See, that's one of the things I want
to answer that question.
I want to clarify all. I want to rectify now, man.
Yeah, just right quick before you start, because this is in the comments, and I swear, man, most of the dudes making, I think, is Hoovers. Saying that Hoovers, well, we come from Hoover Group.
I ain't never met a Hoover Group.
Never met a Hoover Group.
Never met
me either. Never in my life. But I'm gonna give me a minute. I want to put an exclamation point on that. I was hoping that when you first start interviewing the loved one Hoover Joe, that he'll clear that up.
Yeah.
But he never cleared up. But I'm gonna clear it up right now.
Go ahead.
Whether people accept it or reject it. First of all, Hoovers with Hoover Crips, we was never Hoover Groovers. People's under a misconception that the Hoover Groovers, that the Hoover Crips came from the Hoover Groovers, like the Hoover Groovers started the Hoover Crips, or when the Hoover Groovers became defunct and died out, like the Hoover Crips came from them. That ain't the case at all, man. Just like Tony Serrano just said, he ain't never met a Hoover Group. I ain't never met one in my life. They was older than us.
Okay,
that's a separate tribe, a separate movement, and a separate entity from the Hoover Crips. We wasn't born from the Hoover Groovers. And one of the things I want to clarify, one of the misconceptions, I've been telling people this for years. It's in my book that one of the misconceptions that people got about the Hoover Crips and the Hoover Groovers think the Hoover Crips came from the Hoover Groovers, because back in between 73 and 74, where I didn't write graffiti on the wall. I wasn't into that, but a lot of loved ones were. They, was writing Hoover Groover blood removal on the wall. That's why people think to this very day we Hoover Groovers. So many Hoover Crips was writing Hoover Groover blood removal on the wall.
Okay.
That's why people think
Okay.
we were Hoover Groovers.
Okay.
And while they was doing that, we inadvertently was keeping the Hoover Groovers name alive.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
But that name and that terminology is gonna be with us forever now.
Yeah.
Hoover
That's
Groovers.
ours.
That's
I
ours
mean,
now.
we took
But
that.
I just want the people to know that the Hoover Groovers ain't started no Hoover Crips. Them two separate entities. I done read comments since your podcast. People try to connect us to the Hoover Groovers to make it seem like the Hoover Crips being out lower than what they is. It's not like that.
Okay.
We came out in 1972. Hoover Groovers is something separate. And then let me open up this safe real quick and introduce to the people one more thing about the Hoover Groovers. I'm gonna give these Hoover Groovers they prop. You know, I done my research. You know, I'm a writer. I done my history, my research on the Hoover Group, and where they was, where they was based at, where was their headquarters at. It keep going back to 43rd off of Vermont. That's where it keep. You know, that might be a myth, but it keep going back to there, right?
But we've had homies come down from out of the 40s, right?
Yeah.
Stump down cats.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, hopefully, y'all can get into that and who those individuals were, because I know they had a following. You know,
Hey, this is Big Took book. This ain't the reason I got Big Took book in the safe.
Okay.
There's something else in there that's valuable. But this book here, you want to know the one thing I give these whoever they was, these Hoover Groovers was. Like I said, they was older than us. They was a separate movement. But these Hoover Groovers, you read this book, Big Took talk about the Hoover Groovers in this book. They accomplished something that the Hoover Crips been wanting to accomplish for years.
what's that?
Towards our enemies, the Figueroa boys. I ain't gonna tell nobody what they done. I ain't gonna tell you what page it on, because I had to do some research and find out the exact page it was on last week. But these Hoover Groovers accomplished something that the Hoover Crips been trying to accomplish against the Figueroa boys for years, and they done that.
They pulled it off.
They put it out. I ain't gonna tell nobody what page it on. Do some research. You know, y'all
Go
need to
get the
start
book.
reading anyway. Yeah, go
get the book.
Go look at it. I got the page.
Wait for
do some
TS's
research.
book, because I'm pretty sure he gonna enlighten you even more. So, yeah, it's something to look forward to for sure. So the Hoover Groovers did not birth
None
the Hoover
whatsoever.
Crips.
None whatsoever.
Okay, okay, and I'm glad we cleared that up, because that's in the comments, man. Like nobody's business, and you know, shit.
I know that to be a fact, because I was still on 43rd back then.
Oh yeah.
Vermont. The Hoover Groovers was hanging out like on 41st, 42nd in Hoover. They more like a car club down there.
Huh.
They were older dudes, like you said. I knew one in particular named Big Art. He ran them. Yeah, but we didn't come from there.
No.
We had homies come from down that way. When you yourself lived down there,
Yeah.
Judah Bean,
Judah Bain for sure.
Tony.
Beats Nunn.
yeah.
Moved on 43rd.
He moved up.
Kansas.
He moved on 76.
Philip Crowley.
Philip Crowley.
Yeah.
Philip Crowley.
And he the
Big.
one.
Yeah.
He the one started the folk trade.
Big Nun.
He's the original 7-4 Hoover.
Big Nun.
And he went down and went with Philip B. What we talking about?
Yeah.
He was original 7-4 Hoover with us.
Right.
This is the same brother that Joe met,
Right.
and he came and said, "Joe, I got something going on
Yeah.
down here, and
Yeah.
we called the Catins."
Right.
Yeah.
So when Hoover came out, Philip B. he already standing in the 40s.
Yeah.
Okay.
He moved on 76
So-
to the 40s.
Yeah, he moved down there. So, but by him traveling back and forth, he's the original 7-4 Hoover. But since he down in the 40, he the one started the folk trade Hoovers. Period. Point blank.
Because at the time, Judah Bean, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Big Jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I used
T.
to run with them. T.
Yeah.
They was Big 10.
Joe the Boss.
Big 10, not
Yeah.
Cut
They
10.
Big 10.
Why? Why was they called
Joe
Big
the
10?
Boss.
I don't know why.
Joe the Boss, my boy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They
All
started
of
riding bikes, stealing bikes and stuff. And there's a crew of them.
Was it because I understood, I
I think
heard
it was on 10 speeds.
they was on 10
Yeah.
speeds,
10 speeds. They always 10 speeds.
the Big 10.
Big 10. That's what Judah Bean was.
Yeah.
Right.
Beats, homie Nunn.
But them some riders from down that way too.
And that's Big Nun we talking about.
Man,
You
the
got
OG
you
Nun. You got what?
Big Nun, which is Philip B, who
Yeah.
started folk trade, who was the original 7-4, went down. You got that's Big Nun. Then you got Baby
Yeah.
Nun, Little Nun.
You had BOT, Donnell. These are all folks raised. Some solid cats.
There wasn't a lot of them, but they was big.
Solid
But
cats.
they came in it like
Yeah, they was with it.
Hey,
like,
well,
yeah.
let me say this, and you know, a lot of grooves, this specific towards the grooves, a lot of grooves don't understand, don't even know. Even though the 4 trades was always small, it was treacherous. But
Yeah.
they the 4th Hoover block that ever came out.
So the 4 trades were 4th.
4th block. The 4th block.
Wasn't very popular,
And I ain't gonna go deep into
but
detail.
with the business.
I ain't gonna go deep in details and go into all the other blocks. I know them by heart.
Mhm.
But when you start from the 7th floor to 8 trade, 9 deuce Hoovers, then that's when the 4 trades came in.
After 9
See,
deuces.
a lot of grooves don't understand that when the loved one Joe started the groove, we was going towards the hundreds. We was trying to go that way. We wasn't trying to go towards
back.
the 40 and
Right.
50.
Got you.
We was going to 70, all the 70, 80s, 90s, going that way. But when Philip B,
Just so happened he
Big
just
Nub.
moved down there on 42nd.
yeah, ended up starting the 4
Right,
trade, shit
right.
started getting all mixed up. And I
But
didn't
He found his way
Yeah,
down the way. He's
for
like,
sure he
"Look,
did.
Ted, I'm going down
Yeah.
this way and bring it back
Yeah.
home." So yeah, I hear a lot about him, man. And he was the originator of 43rd Street.
and I, you know, back then, Chris, we all wore Ace Deuces.
Ace
Okay.
Ace Deuce
yeah,
hats.
waistline leather coat.
Ain't
Okay.
nobody had a bad Ace Deuces Big Nine. Philip B. That nigga had that shit decorated like a Christmas tree.
So Ace Deuces was y'all thing. When our generation came was golf hats.
Right.
You know, y'all probably started them before.
Yeah, we
but
started with
we
golf hats
decorated
too.
them though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, but back to the question as far as the shack.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
We got to go back to the shack. We got to go back to the shack. It was
These
a lot,
was early
a lot
days.
of fun happened. A lot of good, you know. But my guy over there, my brother Tony Stacy, with you know, he's running around like with about some 18, 19-inch arms
Yeah.
at about 15 years old. And see, we didn't never get jumped in. What, you know, we didn't do that. You know,
Okay.
you you come over, you've been and smoked up a bunch of weed and drunk up a bunch of drink and talking about how down you is and how much you want to, you know, you want to kick it. And yeah, okay, well, come tonight. We got something for you. You know, we going to work.
Right.
Got a tool for you.
Right.
And you know, this is how you was like initiated into this thing of ours when we was doing that. You know, you didn't come for work. You know, you miss work. Oh, Tone, if you was 6'3", Tone jump up and slap. Nigga, where was you at? Where you at?
So Tone more like the foreman.
Yeah. Tone the foreman.
Yeah.
Shot cut you, nigga, where was you at? Yeah, you came over and smoked up everything, drunk up everything. And I guess you think you're gonna do it again tonight. He might get a pass on the first one.
Mm.
After that, yeah, they either you just didn't show up no more. But if you was on that block, you was active.
Wow.
You had no other
Wow.
choice but to be active if you was on that
Mm.
block.
Okay.
And so we already could fight. So it wasn't like we had to put hands on you to see if you could fight because the Hoover Gym was on 78.
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed active. We you know, we did our thing. But yeah, you know, guys like me holding Ray, we just be sitting back dying laughing because it'd be so funny.
Is
Like,
that what they called you back then?
Uh-huh.
TS?
No,
And they called him Mousy back then.
Oh, Mousy.
You know, at your first couple interviews with Hoovers Joe,
Yeah, knock it off.
he talk about the loved one Tom Moore so much.
Yeah.
See, Tom Moore was crazy T at that time. But
Mm.
Tom Moore's the one named me Mouse and Mousy. He the one named me Mouse and Mousy. Cause we be in the shack all the time.
Mm.
We be in the shack like shit 6 days a week.
Right.
And we be in the shack, be about 50 of us on one night, 25, no less than 25 every night in that shack.
Right.
Everybody smoking
Right.
4-finger weed.
Yeah,
sack.
for real.
We all chipping on the weed. But I you know, I smoked a little bit of weed. I ain't weed smoking. I didn't even like smoking
Right.
weed back then, but I used to be quiet. We'd be in the shack, right?
Right.
I used to be quiet watching everybody, but Tom Moore the one ended up naming me Mouse and Mousy because I used to be so, you know, Mouse is quiet.
Right.
So he ended up naming me that because I used to be quiet all the time. You know, and what was the trip about? I used to love about the shack. I used to, people didn't know this. I used to always wait on this one moment. And that's when Joe come. You know, Joe was a pretty boy. You know, he had the pink rollers and all that shit. That nigga, look, man, I go to his house. I go there for about 2-3 hours. He got to put all his rollers.
You gonna put it all in.
And so, but then I go to shack, which is only 10-15 feet from his porch. Man, we be in there kicking it. This was the moment I always wait on. I never told nobody. Wait on his appearance. When he come in the shack, it might be 50, 60, 30, 40 of us. Every time he came in there, a veil of silence fell over the shack. Everybody got And Joe Nickname at that time was the general. You know, everybody calling everybody homeboys the general now, but he was the general.
For
When
sure.
he came up in there, everybody got quiet, holding their head down. I'm
Going back to it.
So that was the shack.
That was the shack, man. Yeah,
There was
the
another
shack.
spot y'all hung at also, from my understanding, that was where Battle lived.
Yeah, in the back house. The back house.
What's up with that, man?
Battle,
And that was the old spot too.
Battle was about 14, 15 with his own bachelor apartment, which was the back house. Yeah. His mom wasn't having that, us being up in the front.
Up in the
but
house.
The back house was cracking.
But many a meeting took place there. Many a gathering.
Many.
So many memories in
Yeah.
that house, Battle House, man.
Yeah.
And then the thing, because you know his mother stayed in the front house, he stayed in
Right.
the back house with his brother, Lipo. But one
remember Lipo.
thing, when you come that door, it was a certain code you had to say. That door, is you knock on the door, you just wasn't gonna open. You had to know the code, say a certain code to the person behind the
in.
door to open up the door. That's
Yeah.
how it was. But that's one thing about Battle. I talk about this in my book, man. You know, I'm putting a little bit of here and there from out of my book. Might well be, it's gonna get repeated again over and over. But one thing about Battle House, it was a fortress, man.
Most
Man.
real.
Yeah, I've heard about some legendary gatherings, man, and it was some good shit though. You know, come in and a couple of cats get, you know, knocked around. You know, did a lot of chest thumping.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Battle, you know, going to fire on you in a minute.
Oh,
man.
yeah, he did like
Yeah.
Joe told you.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I like going to Battle House.
yeah.
He gonna put that big ass gorilla grin on his face. He finna steal on you. He gonna, booyah, steal on you on your chest. You be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck I done?
Yeah,
And you got to fight back,
yeah.
but he always end up winning.
I
He gonna
think,
be the last man
Yeah.
standing. That motherfucker used to be
Yeah.
throwing volcano blows at your chest.
I remember, yeah, Robert Battle was something else.
Cold piece, huh?
Cold piece. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was his style.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. He was a beast. He was hitting hard. He was hitting like he was getting hit with a ton of bricks.
Mm.
Yeah.
The hog, huh?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
On Battle, man.
Another thing, Bug, I want to get cleared up too about the 745988 Deuce Trey.
Man, we was getting into that.
Everybody got their different, you know, conception
Understanding.
on how it started. I remember I was one of the creators of that.
A 7459.
Yeah. Tony Serrano kind of got a different version of it. And I'm gonna talk to a few people that got a misconception of it. I remember, this is just my version of it. I remember one night I was at the 4 apartment on 74, the
Okay.
headquarters, and I was with about three other loved ones, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It was cold, windy, raining. Like, you know, we used to back then. We used to late at night. We used to drink hard alcohol straight out the bottle, no ice, no water, no. We used to, you know, to warm
Keep
our
you warm.
blood up.
Yeah.
And we was doing that night. So we started playing with them numbers like that. And that's how that came about. 745988 Deuce Trey. And like this new generation's out right now, when they hear the 9 and the deuce, they might think we're talking about the 5 deuces, which wasn't born yet. Or the 9, they hear the 9, they think we talking about the 5-9. We ain't talking about the 5,
right.
but they wasn't born yet. When the 745988 Deuce Trey, you know, the 74. The 5 stood for 75th Street.
And the 9 still for 79.
Yeah, the 75th Street. That was the headquarters right there, too, besides the shack.
So
Right
besides 74th Street, 75th Street was like
Yeah,
second place
right.
to be.
Yeah.
That was the block full of Hoovers all day long.
Between when?
I stayed over
Between
there.
Vermont and Hoover.
From my home.
Them
The
buses
fully
stayed on
loved-
The Fully Loves then, right?
Fully Loves,
Bosa Street.
Yeah.
75th was the block. That was the block.
Hmm.
Then 74, the 5, 75th, the 9, when Ajax started 79 Hoovers. You know,
Okay.
that's what the 9 stood for.
So there was a 79, there was a 79 Hoover.
Right, from Ajax. But we end up, Leo, the one introduced, Leo from 74, the one told us about it.
Rest in
I haven't
peace.
met Ajax yet. Said, man, they got some 79 Hoovers down there. Well, so we had a meeting with Leo, and Leo was tight with Ajax. We told Leo, man, you tell Ajax, whoever he is, they're either going to turn 8 trays or 74. We don't need no another block. And so they all end up, most of them end up turning the 79s, end up turning 74. Then you go to 88, which stood for 81st Street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you go to the Deuce, which stood for, 9.
9 Deuce. Okay.
And then the Trey stood for 4 Trey and 8 Trey. 745988 Deuce Trey. Then we holler, who. Yeah. That was our young
I
days.
remember that. I remember that though. Hoover. So 8 Ace, though they all turn A Trey Hoovers.
Yeah.
You know. So what made the consolidation take place? What made that occur? 7-4, 8 Trey 9 dudes. Because let you guys tell it, they was damn near Hoover set on every street.
Yeah. But the bottom line, we starting to have too many Hoover. Let me say this too. This is in my book too. I might put a little bit. But anyway, let me say we had 7-4s everywhere. A lot of people don't. We even had Florence Hoovers. From Florence and Norton, you remember Chicken and Peaches Style?
Peaches, Chicken,
we had
Rolling, all of them, yeah.
We had Florence Hoover from on Florence from Normandy up to Flower by the freeway.
Yeah,
we had Florence Hoover, and right there on Dirkdale Street, we had 7-1 Castle Hoovers. And I'm gonna tell you about that. We had 7-1 Castle right on 71st and Vermont. Then on the street that me and Curly Hair we lived on, we had 6-9 Hoovers. We had the Bonzella Hoovers. And the thing about it, all of them were 7-4s. And another thing I want to get cleared up: a lot of people to this day still think it was actually 8-0 Hoovers. It was never no 8-0 Hoovers. All the 7-4s hang out on 8-0. We
used to hang on 80. Yeah.
And they keep talking about it was 8-0. It was never 8-0 Hoovers. All of them was 7-4s right there.
Yeah.
It was a point in time in the early days on that same street, 80 up between Hoover and Fig. We on this side, right there off the corner of Hoover. When we used to get drunk, holler 8-0 Hoover and all that shit, but we was all 7-4s.
Right.
But at the other end, on 80 up in Figure World, that's where all the trades, all 8 trade Hoovers. I love once all 8 trades sold all them apartment behind the house of Hoover.
Yeah.
That's where all 8 trades are.
Yeah.
So all the foes right here, all 8 trades down there, you know. But 7-4, we was everywhere, man.
Yeah.
But all them blocks, and I told them different streets we was at. That was all 7-4 territory. That's how we did. And then the thing about it is that what was ironic is that, you know, the trades and the foes is the heart and soul who appeared. You know, that's the heart and soul period.
Okay.
But everybody's heart and soul now, but that's how it was. But the trades operated different than the foes. When we go on our kill missions and what we got to do to go deal with our enemies, they operated totally different than us. The 8 trades.
Yeah.
The foes we had our own modus operandi, how we operate, and the trades had theirs.
Who was Gay? I heard a rumor about him and Bulldog.
Oh man,
it was a major fight. You know,
I was there, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't never saw a fight like that in my life, bro. I had to fight them. I had to fight them fools with guns, man.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, I never saw a fight like that. It was in the morning time in
Manchester Park.
I forgot what the dispute was over with. It was a gang of Hoovers, a gang of people supporting Gay from the west side. We was all up there. Him and Bulldog got, and then Bulldog hands and shit was sore for beating people up at a point the night before. But he fought Gay anyway. You know, Gay is a professional boxer.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Man, I ain't never saw a fight like that in my life, bro. Them motherfuckers mauled each other, bro. And like I say, Bulldog, I'm not defending because he, you know, he's from the Grove, but his hand was already fucked up from the night before. But Bulldog hung up in there, man. And then when they like forgave, you know, fake like they forgave each other, then Bulldog turned around, slapped, and walked away. Yeah, man. That was the most horrific fight I ever saw in my life, man.
Yeah, and I bring that up because you know, what I heard was the man just whooped on Bulldog, just whooped on him.
I was there.
You know, that was what was said. And I was like, man, I'm gonna have to find out about that because for all accounts about Bulldog, you know, I ain't seen nobody just whooping on him. He gonna just let that be, you know. So I'm glad I asked you about that. No, Bulldog, man. They say, man, he was one of them dudes, man. In fact, I read a comment that went like this: Bulldog carried Hoover. That was the comment.
He did his thing.
You know, and that, you know, and I addressed the comment. I addressed the comment.
He did his thing.
Yeah, in that respect.
Well,
I said, but we had all kind of Bulldogs, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Well, you know
what I mean?
Not taking nothing from me. When you say he carried Hoover, he probably carried a trade.
Yeah. I'm saying he did his thing.
We had a lot of Bulldogs.
We had a lot of Bulldogs. That's what. Yeah, that was my.
Was a hog though.
Yeah,
he was. You know, we used to go back to the parties back in the day, house parties. man, everybody getting against the wall. Word get to going around all the group. We going to house party 100 deep and all that. Then word passed around amongst all the groups. Man, Bulldog gonna turn it off. Everybody know what to do. Everybody get against the wall. Bulldog, after we get out against the wall, he'll turn that whole party out by himself. He'll slap this motherfucker. He'll slap that dude. He'll punch this brawl. We kick back. He'll turn all the furniture over, flush the mirrors out, and then we gone.
Man.
Bulldog gonna do his thing. That's what he did.
Hey, do you
Man.
recall when we would be going to those parties that it would be 10 niggas on one side of the street and about 50 us on the other side of the street? And the police, for some reason, would always pull up on the 50. But the 10 niggas had all the guns.
Right.
Yeah, you know. And I remember they who used to complain all the time about the 410. Man, don't give me this miss you dead, man. 41 shots, the miss you dead.
The 410, the week good. Yeah.
Yeah, then you know, cats didn't want to carry that, then made a homemade zip gun. I'm like, boy, you gonna blow your hand off with that.
Man.
Yeah, but
Nah.
but boy, they would complain about that 410. Man, don't, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Hey, I wrote about that in my book. That
the
mission.
bitch you dead.
Look,
Yeah.
man.
Let me hit y'all with another one, man. And this is something I think that's out and about in the culture as far as Hoover go in trends. What are some of the foundations of some of the trends Hoover laid down, man, that some of everybody and their daddy do or done because Hoover's did it
I'll
first?
tell you this. As far as Crip walk, we didn't invent it, but we put the spins to it.
I heard that we did it. That
Yes,
homie
that's
did
the
it.
man.
I'm talking about the basic Crip walk they had back in the day, but I'm talking about Coke 45, all the spinning and all this, doing all that. We dance bad, Sule.
Yeah,
So,
they
yeah,
took
most
that shit
definitely.
to a whole.
Most
She
definitely.
laid
People
dance
from
bear.
other sets, other dudes from other sets. That's where they learned from.
And even though
No
in that,
question.
That's where they learned from.
even in this book,
I remember my mama used
Oh,
to get
Big
down.
Chuck.
I stand back and just watch.
yeah,
Like,
everybody
tear it up.
Yeah,
did.
man. Yeah, we
Even,
wasn't no going out there competing with that.
Even in Big Chuck book I just showed, he even mentioned he give credit as Dancer Bear from 90s who started
The
Crip Walk
originator
in that book.
for the Crip Walk.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. And then one of the other legendary things about Hoover that we started trend is the word hoorah.
Who ride? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why we got the homeboy named Hoorah. All that hoorah now, all that come from Hoover. This the wave, all
Yeah.
that, all that.
This, that's what you
Yeah.
For sure,
And-
for sure.
And see, you know, nowadays they homies don't do it this way, they do it this way.
Yeah.
But we started all that.
Yeah.
We used to
Yeah.
do all
I
that.
remember the shit
All that,
growing up,
all that.
you know,
Yeah,
homies doing
all
that.
You remember that whistle Joe had that was so cold? Remember that Crip whistle Joe would do?
yeah, the
Oh
whistle.
man, nigga sound like a bird.
I saw the comments, man. The brother off the east side, and he struck me as an older cat. He said, "Man, I give props to the Hoovers with the hands because didn't nobody do it until they did it."
We was doing all this and doing all that. We started that.
Yeah.
So I see dudes
It's in the
going
comments,
down,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
No, we started that way back in
Yeah.
third,
So we was
Right.
doing stuff like this.
Yeah, you know,
we was
doing
doing stuff
all
like
this,
this.
doing like this.
We across the brim side,
Yeah.
across the
Yeah,
brim,
exactly.
all that.
And like, you know, the fingers.
Yeah.
Talk about the fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the first? You know who
Throwing
brought
them
the fingers?
things.
Joe.
Drawing it on the walls.
Who?
and stuff?
Low,
Who Alky Luke?
low,
I know
alky
shit. He
low,
was-
alky low,
He was the Hoover
alky
artist.
low.
He was the Hoover
This
Hoover
right
artist.
here,
Yeah,
he started-
absolutely.
he
Yeah.
drew it on the walls.
Yeah.
He brought the stripes
Just
in.
like that.
Just
With a
like that.
Can of spray paint.
With the cans everywhere.
Real talk.
He wasn't no joke.
Real talk.
Man.
Another one of our bros, man.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Yeah, man. Another one of our bros. Yeah, this stuff is extensive, man.
It is.
It's deep. It's deep, man. You know, we're gonna continue this, man, and at a later in a few minutes, man. I want to give these brothers, man, a little time, man. Take bathroom break, cigarette break, maybe eat something, man. But we'll be back in.
Well, let me give a shout out to a couple of my partners.
Go
who I
ahead.
forget from other hoods. Samson from West Side Mafia, Big Smoke, Nada Dean, Kenyatta, Cat the Killer, Joe from the Coast. And just to name a few. Anyway, shout out to you brothers, man.
Holy, got something you want to drop on somebody?
Send a shout out to my boy, Monkey from 60s.
Yeah.
My boy, that's my
Yeah, it's
bro,
people.
Yeah.
You introduced me to that brother, Joe did.
Good dude,
Yeah.
man. Good
Yeah.
dude.
But yes, yeah, I know you. Everybody know you, man. So
New name, but I ain't
they see you-
all
Man,
Right,
just-
right.
I just sit on my salute to Hoover Joe, man. Love you, bro.
yeah,
all day.
Same
yeah.
here, love you,
all
bro,
day,
love
man,
you.
all day,
Keep your head up.
all day. We be back in 3 minutes, 4 seconds, man. H. Or
You have been, and you will be under the groove.